Thank you. Good afternoon, Prime Minister. Welcome. It's just a pleasure to have your company here at this summit, and your timing is just impeccable, actually. We just wrapped up the final technical session of the afternoon, so thank you. We understand your busy schedule, and we just appreciate your presence here in this forum. And ministers, thank you again. I am going to just provide a brief introduction, and we just look forward to hearing your closing remarks to close up this, what has been a very, very interesting dialogue, forum, lots of learning, lots of sharing. Prime Minister Marape, thank you. Prime Minister Marape holds a Bachelor of Arts, an Honours in Environmental Science and an MBA from the University of Papua New Guinea. First elected to PNG's National Parliament in 2007 as a member for Tari Pori, Prime Minister Marape has also served as our country's Minister for Education and also Minister for Finance. In May 2019, he was appointed as PNG's 8th Prime Minister. Prime Minister, thank you again for your presence, and we would like to invite you to the podium to give your closing remarks.
All right, thank you very much, Mistress of Ceremonies. I just want to, thank you. I want to appreciate Minister Dr. Lina Tom for being a wonderful host. And your departmental head, as well as everyone in the health department. I want to acknowledge also in a special way Lady Roslyn Morata. I think it was a few months ago when she told me that, Mr. Prime Minister, if there's anything I demand on you, you don't miss this one. And she's entitled to a demand once in a while. And so I just want to step back and say thank you very much, Bikla Mary. You leader Mary Blo country na mi hamas also you chair Blo display Global Fund Board na work with malaria. Your work in that space has been second to none. As a daughter of this country, we are proud of you for the work you do in advocacy on malaria and the fight against malaria. So thank you, Lady Roslyn. Thank you for your effort. I want to acknowledge our guests who are with us. I see my friends from Solomon Islands, my friends from Vanuatu, our sister from Timor-Leste. You know, this is just the extended space in our shared region, so thank you very much, all in the Asia Pacific who have joined us, distinguished ministers of your respective countries. And also I want to acknowledge those who come in from the WHO, especially I pay special respect to Dr. Piokala, the Regional Director of the Western Pacific Regional Office of WHO. Thank you very much. I want to acknowledge Dr. Das, the CEO of the Asia Pacific Leaders of Malaria Alliance and its Board of Directors. Thank you very much for your presence. I do acknowledge every distinguished presenters and those who came into Port Moresby for this important session on malaria elimination. And sincerely, in the close of this important conversation and meeting, I am totally delighted to see a house that is full, a room that is full, and I could see a lot of energy still left in you. Whatever it was in the last 2 days, I certainly know you've made connections, you've made the dots connected, and you've conversed in as far as malaria conversation is concerned. And hopefully together we work. At the end of this 8th Summit on Malaria Elimination, I hope we all work from the scientific world, from those who are medical practitioners, and from those who are in the research aspect. I noted Dr. Pomat and Dr. Moses, those who work in PNG IMR here. You know, I've been an employee of PNG IMR in my younger days, Institute of Medical Research. And so I do note that those of you are present. We hope that your engagements do lead certainly to malaria elimination. PNG is susceptible, remains prone to malaria, And we have lived with it over many, many years, but with the changing lifestyles, changing climate, malaria footprint now being pushed deep into what used to be no malaria zones before. And I just hope that these conversations assist us in PNG to fight, because we possibly remain one of those big malaria-prone countries in Pacific and in our part of the world, if not globally speaking. Our National Health Plan 2021 to 2030 talks about us eliminating malaria by 2030. It is a big challenge and it is a big aspiration, but there is nothing better to aspire for than saving our people's life. And so I thank you. And so we intend to walk this path for the next 6 years that is left in the life of our National Health Plan 2021 to 2030. And we want to appreciate many of you stakeholder partners in our country, our bilateral partners, the multilateral partners. We have evidence of strong collaboration between partners, and again, the last yesterday and today's get-together of partners in Papua New Guinea is evident that whilst we live in PNG, we're not isolated. Our global outreach and our partnership remains strong in throwing a hand in to work with Papua New Guinea. And I also not only speak for Papua New Guinea, but I want to speak and advocate for our region. Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, the rest of the Pacific, as well as Indonesia that lives in, and those that share in our space of the world, in the Tropic of Capricorn and Tropic of Cancer, in between these two zones, you have malaria-prone citizens with population that is bustling, with living side by side, close to each other, with transmittable disease that can be transmitted due to a lifestyle that is now more contemporary than isolated before. I just want to encourage that all of us continue and work this space. I know 44 countries have eliminated malaria, and PNG, as I said earlier, it is a high goal that by 2030 we want to eliminate malaria. But like some may doubt this, but for me as government and head of this government, and whoever will come after me going forward, there is no better aspiration than the aspiration of saving lives in our country. If we can think of malaria, if we can think of TB, and other lifestyle-related and even airborne disease that could be ticked off, or disease that is transmitted by insects and all this, then we are on our way to really fulfilling a healthier population as envisaged by our National Vision 2050. And I want to close by appealing that all of you partners who live and share in our space of the world, WHO, United Nations, Australian aid programs, and all our regional aid programs, Japanese aid, Chinese aid, and all us in the region, Indonesia, Timor-Leste, Papua New Guinea, right across to Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, into Fiji and the other Pacific Island nations. I place an advocacy for continued collaboration and work. PNG also, even in the face of our own need, we still look out to help those in our region also as we collaborate together. We hope that this meeting, this aid meeting, and I want to appreciate the fact that you have this Eden initiative being launched, and I want to comment the Eden initiative, the initiative on eliminating malaria and other vector-borne disease through this enhanced regional partnership. I look forward for our own government's contribution, not just for Papua New Guinea, but for our cousins in the region to the west and to the east. May God bless each and every one of you who have contributed your time and your talent and your organization's resource to this noble cause, saving lives that are lost through disease that can be eradicated. God bless each and every one.
Thank you again, Mr. Prime Minister and distinguished guests.